Welcome to Mr. Winter Wonderland channel. Subscribe now and let's unravel the wonders of our world together. Now, let's get to today's video.
Oda Nobunaga's early life. Oda Nobunaga was born in 1534, a time when Japan was a fractured land consumed by war. The Sengoku period, also known as the Warring States period, was marked by social upheaval, political intrigue, and near-constant military conflict. Various warlords or daimyo vied for power and territory, leading to a chaotic and unstable environment. He was the son of Oda Nobunaga, a minor warlord in Owari province. Nobunaga was a competent leader who managed to maintain control over his domain despite the turbulent times. He was known for his strategic acumen and his ability to navigate the complex political landscape of the period. Young Nobunaga was known for his eccentric behavior and disregard for tradition. He often shocked those around him with his unconventional actions, such as wearing Western-style clothing and engaging in activities that were considered inappropriate for someone of his status. This behavior earned him a reputation as a maverick and an outsider. He was nicknamed Owari no Outsuke, meaning the Fool of Owari. This nickname was both a reflection of his unorthodox behavior and a gross underestimation of his true capabilities. Many of his contemporaries dismissed him as a mere eccentric, failing to see the brilliance that lay beneath the surface. However, beneath the veneer of foolishness, Nobunaga possessed a sharp intellect and a burning ambition to unite Japan under his rule. He was a keen observer of human nature and understood the importance of psychological warfare. His ability to think several steps ahead of his opponents would become one of his greatest strengths. Nobunaga inherited his father's domain in 1551. At the age of 17, he was thrust into a position of leadership, a role that many doubted he could handle. Yet he quickly proved his detractors wrong by demonstrating a natural aptitude for command and a ruthless determination to achieve his goals. He quickly proved himself to be a capable leader and a ruthless warrior. Nobunaga's early campaigns were marked by a series of bold and decisive actions that expanded his territory and solidified his power base. His willingness to take risks and his ability to inspire loyalty in his followers set him apart from other leaders of his time. He expanded his territory through a combination of military prowess and shrewd political maneuvering. Nobunaga was a master of the art of war, employing innovative tactics and strategies that often caught his enemies off guard. He also understood the importance of diplomacy and was adept at forming alliances that furthered his ambitions. Nobunaga understood the power of alliances, but he was never afraid to betray those who stood in his way. He was a pragmatist who believed that the ends justified the means, and he was willing to do whatever it took to achieve his objectives. This ruthless approach earned him both fear and respect from his contemporaries. In 1560, Nobunaga faced his first major test at the Battle of Okehazama. This battle would prove to be a turning point in his career, showcasing his tactical genius and his ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. The stakes were high, and the outcome would determine the future of his domain. He faced the much larger army of Imagawa Yoshimoto, a powerful warlord who threatened to conquer Owari. Yoshimoto's forces were well equipped and experienced, and many believed that Nobunaga stood no chance against such a formidable opponent. Nobunaga's forces were outnumbered, but he had a plan. He understood that a direct confrontation would likely result in defeat, so he devised a strategy that relied on surprise and deception. His ability to think outside the box and adapt to changing circumstances would prove to be crucial in the coming battle. He launched a surprise attack on Yoshimoto's camp during a heavy rainstorm. The rain provided cover for his troops, allowing them to approach the enemy undetected. This bold move caught Yoshimoto's forces completely off guard, throwing them into disarray and giving Nobunaga the upper hand. The attack was swift and decisive. Nobunaga's troops moved with precision and speed, overwhelming the enemy before they had a chance to mount a proper defense. The element of surprise, combined with Nobunaga's tactical brilliance, ensured a resounding victory. Yoshimoto was killed and his army was routed. The defeat of such a powerful adversary sent shockwaves throughout Japan, altering the balance of power in the region. Nobunaga's victory at Okehazama was not just a military triumph, it was a statement of intent and a clear indication of his future ambitions. The victory at Okehazama made Nobunaga a major power in Japan, and set the stage for his rise to dominance. It marked the beginning of his campaign to unify the country, a goal that would consume the rest of his life. His success at Okahazama demonstrated his potential to reshape the political landscape of Japan. It also showcased his willingness to break with tradition and embrace new tactics, a hallmark of his military career. Nobunaga's innovative approach to warfare would continue to define his strategies in the years to come, setting him apart as one of the most formidable leaders of his time. The Fire Serpent firearms and the Battle of Nagashino. Oda Nobunaga was one of the first Japanese warlords to fully grasp the potential of firearms. His strategic mind saw beyond the traditional methods of warfare that had dominated Japan for centuries. He had witnessed the arrival of Portuguese traders and their matchlock arquebuses in the 1540s. These foreign weapons, with their ability to pierce armor and deliver deadly force from a distance, intrigued him. Recognizing their power, he quickly acquired these weapons and trained his men in their use. This was a significant departure from the traditional reliance on swords and bows. Nobunaga's adoption of firearms was revolutionary. It signaled a shift in military tactics and the beginning of a new era in Japanese warfare. It challenged the traditional dominance of the samurai class, whose power rested on swordsmanship and mounted archery. The samurai, known for their skill and honor in close combat, now had to adapt to a new form of warfare. The Battle of Nagashino in 1575 demonstrated the devastating impact of firearms on the battlefield. This battle was a turning point, showcasing the effectiveness of firearms against traditional cavalry charges. Nobunaga faced the combined forces of the Takeda and Okudaira clans, renowned for their formidable cavalry charges. These clans were known for their speed and power on the battlefield. The Takeda, in particular, were known for their fearsome Furutakari tactic, a lightning-fast cavalry assault that had swept aside many enemies. Nobunaga anticipated this tactic. He understood that traditional defenses would not suffice against such a formidable force. He positioned his troops behind a hastily constructed palisade and organized his arquebusiers into 3 rotating ranks. This innovative formation allowed for continuous fire, maximizing the effectiveness of his firearms. As the Takeda cavalry charged, they were met with a withering hail of lead. The arquebusiers, trained to reload and fire in succession, created a relentless barrage that the cavalry could not penetrate. The volley fire tactic, never before seen in Japan, decimated the Takeda ranks. This method of coordinated, continuous gunfire was a game-changer in the battle. The battle was a decisive victory for Nobunaga and marked a turning point in Japanese warfare. It demonstrated the power of firearms and the importance of adapting to new technologies and tactics. Nobunaga's success at Nagashino paved the way for future military innovations and set a precedent for the use of firearms in Japan. Fortress of Innovation, Azuchi Castle and the dawn of modern warfare. Oda Nobunaga's innovative spirit was not limited to the battlefield. He revolutionized castle design with his construction of Azuchi Castle, which began in 1576. Located on the shores of Lake Biwa, Azuchi Castle was unlike any fortress Japan had ever seen. It was a symbol of Nobunaga's power and his vision for a unified and modern Japan. Unlike traditional Japanese castles, which were primarily defensive structures, Azuchi Castle was designed to impress and intimidate. It featured a towering central keep, or tenshu, that soared 7 stories high. This was unprecedented in Japanese architecture. The castle's interior was lavishly decorated with gold leaf and elaborate paintings. It served as a center of culture and commerce, attracting artists, merchants, and diplomats from across Japan and beyond. Azuchi Castle was also a marvel of military engineering. Its walls were designed to withstand cannon fire, and its strategic location on Lake Biwa gave Nobunaga control over vital trade routes. The castle's innovative design influenced a new generation of castle builders and marked a significant step towards the development of modern fortifications in Japan. The Shadow of the Serpent and Psychological Warfare and the Mount Hiei Massacre. Oda Nobunaga was a ruthless pragmatist who understood the power of fear. His strategic mind was always calculating, always seeking the most effective way to dominate his adversaries. He was not afraid to employ brutal tactics to crush his enemies and secure his position. His methods were often harsh, but they were undeniably effective, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. One such example was the massacre at Mount Hiei in 1571. This event would become one of the most infamous episodes in Japanese history, a testament to Nobunaga's unyielding resolve. Mount Hiei, located near Kyoto, was home to Enryakuji, a powerful Buddhist monastery and a center of Tendai Buddhism. The monastery was not just a religious site, it was a fortress of influence and power. For centuries, the warrior monks of Enryakuji had held considerable political and military power, often interfering in secular affairs. Their influence extended far beyond the spiritual realm, making them formidable players in the political landscape. Nobunaga viewed the monks as a threat to his authority. Their ability to sway political decisions and their military prowess made them a significant obstacle in his quest for unification. When they allied themselves with his enemies, he decided to make an example of them. This alliance was the final straw, prompting Nobunaga to take decisive and brutal action. He surrounded Mount Hiei with his army and ordered a merciless assault. The attack was swift and unrelenting, designed to instill fear and demonstrate his absolute power. The monastery was burned to the ground, and thousands of monks, women, and children were slaughtered. The scale of the massacre was unprecedented, leaving a scar on the landscape and in the collective memory of the people. The Mount Hiei massacre sent shockwaves through Japan. News of the atrocity spread quickly, and the fear it generated was palpable, affecting both Nobunaga's enemies and allies. It demonstrated Nobunaga's willingness to challenge even the most sacred institutions in his pursuit of power. His actions were a clear message that no one was beyond his reach, not even the revered monks of Enryakuji. The event solidified his reputation as a ruthless and ambitious warlord, capable of extreme cruelty to achieve his goals. Nobunaga's name would forever be associated with the brutality of Mount Hiei. It also served as a stark warning to any who dared to oppose him. The massacre was not just a military victory, it was a psychological weapon, a demonstration of the lengths to which Nobunaga would go to secure his dominance.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to receive more content like this one.